Scotty Pruitt, one of the best, 5 overall wins at the Rolex 24, 10 total including class wins, and continues to perform at the top of his game.
There isn't a more quality guy in the sport, or a guy that no one has achieved what he's achieved.
His feel for the car is really very finely tuned.
He really goes out of his way to make sure that the team is going to get the best result. He's a really big team player, and I think that's what it takes to make a team in sports car racing, great.
All right, we're joined now. We'd like to welcome 5-time Rolex 24 Daytona overall winner Scott Pruitt. This year marks Pruitt's 50th year in racing.
As an athlete, if you're fortunate enough to have a long and successful career, and lucky enough to come to the end on your terms, and then you're truly blessed, and I am. The 2018 Rolex 24 Hours Daytona will be my last race.
The numbers do not lie. 2 IMSA GTO titles, 3 SCCA Trans Am championships, 5 overall wins at Daytona, 7 IMSA championships, 10 class wins, and 60 all-time IMSA wins, the most by any driver ever. For the last 50 years, Scott Pruitt has dominated racing. Daytona may have been his last race, but his relationship with Lexus and his role in shaping the 3GT racing team will keep his influence on the sport alive. Scott Pruitt got his start in racing as an 8-year-old, driving in kart events and practicing in his spare time on a landing strip on his grandfather's property in California.
After school, I come home and work on my go-kart. Trying to get ready for the next race, for the next weekend. My whole life revolves around my racing.
Pruitt won 11 professional kart racing titles, including the 1981 World Karting Championship. But Pruitt had loftier goals in mind. He broke onto the IMSA scene with his first big win in 1985, with a victory in the Pocono Grand Prix. Pruitt won endurance championships alongside Bruce Jenner, including a huge class win at Sebring in 1986, where Pruitt passed Ricky Rudd on the last turn of the final lap in one of the most memorable victories of his career.
And the final lap ran a 27.5. That's almost 4 seconds faster than he qualified. Sandbagging, huh?
Yeah, right.
Scott also won the final IROC race ever held at the famed Riverside International Raceway in 1988. Pruitt set his sights on the open-wheel racing circuit and literally gambled his entire life savings on making the move to IndyCar. Pruitt raised $60,000 for a starting spot at Long Beach.
That was a huge sum of money. That was a massive sum of money, and the only thing I thought was I can always make more money. But it was everything I had, plus borrowing as much as I could from friends, and just rolling the dice, put up or shut up.
And the gamble paid off. His performance landed him a spot in the circuit, and he eventually got a full-time ride with Budweiser in 1989, where he highlighted a great season by being named the Rookie of the Year at the Indianapolis 500. In 1990, Pruitt's rise through the sport was put in jeopardy by a preseason crash that injured both legs, but he wasn't gone long. Pruitt rebounded with the win in the opening round of the IROC Series at Daytona in 1991.
Just a year ago, we were all worried that Scott might never walk again. Today, he takes the win in an unbelievable comeback.
Pruitt won the IMSA 24 Hours of Daytona in 1994 and followed it up with one of the wildest wins of his career at the Michigan 500 in 1995.
Well, Scott Pruitt may have the advantage coming to the final turns. Did he move too quick? Did he move too soon? They continue side by side. Al Unser Jr. and Scott Pruitt come to the line, and Pruitt's got him. Scott Pruitt takes the win.
Since signing on with Chip Ganassi and Lexus, Pruitt solidified his place as one of the great sports car drivers in the world, extending his record as the all-time leader in IMSA wins with 60. Scott's relationship with Lexus goes far beyond the track. Scott was an integral part of the development and promotion of the LFA supercar and the ISF Performance Sedan. He helped Lexus return to sports car racing in 2017 and will be a huge part of the program moving forward. Pruitt has proven to be a winner in everything he does. He's the owner and operator of one of the most sought-after and award-winning wineries in California. He's also an author. The series of children's books he co-wrote with his wife have sold over 100,000 copies. When Pruitt announced that this year's Rolex 24 at Daytona would be his last, the entire racing community knew it was finally time, after 5 decades of racing, for a legend's last run.
To end your career at a place I've had so much success, 5 overall, 10 in class,
I love this place. I kind of feel like this is my house.
He drove through the darkness. He drove through the rain. His teammates in the number 15 3GT Racing Lexus RCF GT3, David Heinemeier Hansen, Jack Hawksworth, and Dominic Farnbacher had one more shot to learn from the master. Pruett retires with not only 5 overall wins at Daytona, but a record 10 class wins, double the second best driver. Perhaps the only person glad to see him retire is Hurley Haywood, who can rest easy knowing that Pruett only tied his record 5 wins at Daytona. Pruett will never be far from motorsports. He will continue his relationship with Lexus, but won't be doing it behind the wheel. One of the most diverse drivers on the planet. The man, known for saying hi to my family at home, may finally be saying goodbye to the driver's seat, but he's got his sights set on other challenges, and he'll never be far from the racetrack.
Hi to my family at home.